Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Andrews, and I am back, and I am so excited. 9 hours of work. I finally got home, and I finally get to talk to you guys about this movie. Captain America Civil War, my number one most anticipated movie of 2016. Before I get into my review, I will tell you that I do spoilers in all my reviews, and anybody who has watched them knows that. Um, I'm going to talk about the movie, the things that I liked and were a little disappointed about and whatnot. I give you guys my grade of the movie, and then afterwards I will announce that I'm doing my spoiler talk and everything like that. So just hold on. The spoilers will be at the end, don't worry. This movie is fantastic. Oh man. Um, the action scenes were done very, very well. There was a few times with a few action scenes where it was a little bit of a shaky camera and it was kind of hard to follow what was going on, but for the most part everything was done really, really well. And it was only like that when the shots were up close and whatnot. The way this movie starts out, showing the teamwork with Captain America, with Falcon, Scarlet Witch. Oh my God, Scarlet Witch was awesome in this movie. She was really, really cool. Elizabeth Olsen does a great job with Scarlet Witch, um, and Black Widow as well. They start out going to get Crossbones. Um, that is one thing in the movie that I wish that it would have been a little bit more longer of a fight. Crossbones against Captain America. Um, the fight between them didn't really last that long. I wish that it did. But at the same time, it was okay, and it was a huge emotional moment. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about it until the end. I'm not going to spoil anything. But uh, when that whole thing is done and over with, it's so emotional and everything like that. Um, Chris Evans kills it as Captain America. He kills it. He always does. Like I said before, Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, she shines in this movie. I mean, she definitely has more of a part in this, and she definitely shines. I mean, she is just an awesome character. Um, Scarlett Johansson was really interesting watching her because she was so conflicted on which side she wanted to go on. Which belief, because she believes in both sides and she has friends in both sides. And they're a team, they're the Avengers. They shouldn't be fighting each other. So she's conflicted on who she wants to go with. Um, in the trailers, she obviously goes with Team Iron Man. Of course, she goes with Tony Stark. Um, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Oh man, it just gets better and better. And I will say, segue into Spider Man. Wow, Tom Holland. Oh my God, he was so awesome as Peter Parker and as fucking Spider Man. He killed it. And I know that everybody's been saying it, he's the best rendition and whatnot, but I will honestly say, not as a film critic. When I do these videos, I do them as a fan. I do them as a normal person. I go into movies. I have gone to college for digital filmmaking, but I'm not a certified critic. Okay, I'm just a normal guy who goes and watches movies and then explains and whatever. Tom Holland is the best. Better than Tobey Maguire. Not like Tobey Maguire. Better than Andrew Garfield and whatnot. He was amazing as Peter Parker and as Spider-Man. It was great. It was so awesome. Every time he came on screen, it was either a amazed moment just on how he's acting and whatnot, or it was making everybody in the theater laugh. I mean, he was really funny. He was cracking jokes and everything. But the back and forth between him and Tony Stark, because Tony Stark actually goes and recruits him and whatnot. But the back and forth between them two was actually really funny and done really well as well. Um, Fuck, I can't remember his name. I can't remember the actor's name, the guy, but Black Panther. This dude was intense. He was a good actor, a really good actor. He played that role very well, and it was a nice origin story to give us that character as well. Um, his suit looks fantastic. His suit is awesome. Just everything about him as well was just so good. I really have no complaint about any of the characters. I mean, a lot of people have been complaining that Hawkeye, is a filler character. He might as well just not even be in there. But whether he has a big role, a small role, I mean, he's not living up to how he was in the comics or in the cartoons or anything like that. But he does serve a purpose in these movies. And I think even Jeremy Renner did a good job. Of course, he does a great job. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. What a great comic. Oh man, this dude is funny. He is great as Ant-Man. Really, really cool. The cinematography of the movie is just great. It's nice. It's crisp. It's pretty. Both sides, Team Cap and Team Iron Man, you understand where both sides are coming from. You get the emotion. You get the reasoning why they're choosing what they're choosing. And then like for me, it makes me sad knowing that these guys are fighting and whatnot. But we do also know that eventually they will get back together because of Infinity War. But we're talking about Civil War right now. What else is there? There's Vision. Vision was it was cool. We got to see more of Vision's powers as well. There's one scene. It's not really a spoiler, so I can say it. Actually, it is a spoiler because I don't really want to talk about that. But there's a scene I'll talk about in my spoiler review. As for the movie in whole, in the last recording that I did, I said I don't know where I want to put it. On the ranking and whatnot. For me, and the way I see it, everybody's list is different. Everybody's opinion is different. But for me, I would put Civil War at 1. I would put the Avengers at 2, and then Winter Soldier at 3. That's my list. Civil War is fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, you definitely got to go see it. It is a worthy movie. It is a great movie. It is just, I mean, I don't know what more to say. I mean, I'm sure that you people have watched Jeremy Jahns and Chris Stuckman and Schmoes Know, just like I have. I mean, it's a great movie. It really fucking is. So, I'm going to give Captain America a P, a 10. Perfection. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean the movie itself is perfect. There are some flaws within the movie. Of course there are. There's flaws within any movie that you watch. but it was perfection to the point of the moral of it, what it was trying to tell us, the action, the fucking acting. All the characters were great. It was so much nostalgia just seeing all them back together, but also seeing them fight. And the story was nice. It was well directed. It looked really pretty and crisp and everything. And a lot of people have been saying that they don't really care for the villain, Baron Zemo. But me, I didn't have a problem with him. Yeah, he's not Loki. Yeah, he's not Ultron. And yeah, he's not Thanos. But I didn't have a problem with him. I understood why he was doing what he was doing. The only thing that I wish that they would have done, well, I don't know if I would have wished that, or maybe they could have done it sooner. Um, because then we wouldn't have gotten the end scene, the end of the movie, which was very emotional. Um, in the movie, Baron Zemo is going to trying to locate where there's other Winter Soldiers to unleash them and whatnot, and he never does. And even Bucky was saying that if they get out and they, sneak out and whatnot, they could cause really, really bad havoc because they're great assassins and whatnot. I think that that would have been nice for the Avengers to, to to try to find them and get them and whatnot. But it also wouldn't have led to the ending, which was just great. It was just great. Oh my god. So yeah, the movie is fantastic. 10 out of 10, perfection. Definitely go see it. Definitely go see it. Alright, so now I'm going to get into my spoilers. So, if you don't want to know about what's going on, then don't stay. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whew, man, spoilers are fucking crazy. The way that this movie opened, oh my god, it was just so sad. Because they're going and they're trying to get Crossbones, and Captain America beats up Crossbones, and Crossbones gets a grenade, and Scarlet Witch actually stops it as it blows up, and she lifts him up into the air. Well, then her powers fade, and it explodes into a building, and tons of people die. And this is why I was saying Elizabeth Olsen is such a great actress, especially for this role. When that happens, you could see it in her face. I mean, oh my gosh, she is crushed. She just killed a bunch of people, and she is like fucking freaking out. And you see it. It was great acting. It was a very sad and emotional scene, and whatnot. Ant-Man, dude. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man was freaking awesome. He had some great scenes. The stuff he was doing with Iron Man's suit and everything like that, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna fuck it up. And he did. He also has a new trick up his sleeve where he grows to be like 50 feet fucking tall or whatever and whatnot. When I was saying earlier about Vision, about his new powers and whatnot, it was a funny scene. Ant-Man's sitting there and he's about to go get Vision, and Vision just he could just go through objects. So then he just goes and he goes through them. And Paul Rudd's like, guys, something just went through me. It was so funny. The entire theater just rolled, just went fucking bawling, laughing. It was fucking great. He was a nice comic relief as well. Tom Holland as Spider-Man, of course, like I said before, the shit that he does. Oh my god, even the communication that he has, because he goes against Captain America, and he gets the better of Captain America. It's funny, too, because he goes and he sweeps his legs and shit like that and whatnot. And he was like, yeah, Tony Stark told me to do that to you. He said that your legs were weak. Because he doesn't guard his legs. And, of course, the scene that we all saw with him and uh, Bucky when he was like, "Oh, you got a metal arm? That's awesome, dude." He was great. He was a teenager. He was poor. He was witty. He was sarcastic. He was funny. He was quick too. And you could tell that he wasn't exactly keen to his abilities as well, which is what I liked. Because in the movie, he said that he's had his abilities for 6 months, which means he probably hasn't had the chance to fully master what abilities he has. Because there's times where something gets the better of him and he doesn't realize it till it's right there. Like Ant-Man crawling on the shield. Like, he doesn't realize that Ant-Man's crawling on the shield until Ant-Man punches him. There's also a debris, somebody throws something at him or something. I can't remember what it was. But he's not fully in tune with his powers yet. He hasn't mastered them yet. And I like that because he's still a kid. He's still a teenager. That was great. And his suit looks amazing. His suit looks great. Scarlet Witch knocking down Vision. When that happened and you saw his body and she had him literally all the way down to the ground and she sends him down. She just, Hadouken! Kamehameha! And just sends him down, going down a building like 50 fucking feet. Just bam! Sends him down floor. And then they leave. I was like, wow, we got to see so much of her powers and of her ability. She was so much more in the movie, and it was great because Scarlet Witch is a great character. Scarlett Johansson. She's Team Stark. And then she goes to Team Cap because she realizes that his love for his brother, Bucky, and she realizes that Bucky is innocent, that he was brainwashed and everything like that. And she actually helps them escape, especially from Black Panther. And whatnot from the airport scene. So that was huge. I was like, wow. That was huge. Now, Sebastian Stan as Bucky is a great role. That's a great role for him. He does a really, really, really good job. I like this character as Bucky. I like the Winter Soldier. And you really feel it in this movie in particular because it is a back and forth battle between him and Captain America. I mean, Captain America is trying so hard to help him, and he doesn't get it. That's the thing. He just doesn't fucking get it. When they finally do meet and he meets up with him and whatnot, he's still trying to, like, he's throwing Captain America into grenades, throwing him into bullets and everything like that. Like, he doesn't get it. He doesn't know, And there's many hints in the movie that he is going to lose his arm. And if anybody does notice that, good job for you. I noticed it. When he jumps out of the window and he has to he's falling down and he grabs something. He grabs it and he jerks. And his arm extends real bad and you hear him scream really loud. It's a little nod. The whole arm thing with Spider-Man to show off the arm. There was a couple other ones as well where somebody had his arm and like an arm lock or something like that. And they were going to like hit it or something. I can't remember. There's also another one where he's using it to punch somebody and it gets knocked away. But there's many hints to show that arm. Now, that's a spoiler. He does lose his arm. He tries to take out the arc reactor of Iron Man, and Iron Man's arc reactor just shoots out a big beam. Boom! Hits his arm, rips it clean off. But that was one thing I did not like the reveal that it ripped his arm off, that it blew his arm off, was just so. It was too quick. It wasn't. It wasn't like. It wasn't like a big reveal, like what happened. It's just it stood up, and then you saw he has no arm, and then it cuts to a new scene, or cuts back to Iron Man or Captain America. I just wish that part would have been more of a, like oh my god type of scene, but the end of the movie is where it gets really emotional, and I said it touches the strings in the heart. I mean, Baron Zemo's plan is to get the Avengers to fight each other. The Avengers defeated an alien army. Okay, they had to use a nuke to do it. Iron Man put the nuke through the black hole. Yeah. Then they defeated Ultron and all those robots and whatnot. But how do you beat the Avengers? When they work together, they're strong. Get them to fight each other. So that's what he does. He gets them to fight each other. Now, like everybody's saying, I will agree. It was kind of ironic and kind of too obvious how you were going to get these four characters to the location and whatnot. Just them. Nobody else is going to be there because it's got to be the big emotional moment. But Zemo actually starts showing footage of the night that Tony Stark's family dies. And you realize that it was Bucky, the Winter Soldier, who killed them. And Tony Stark sees and watches it happen. And Bucky says that he remembers every single one. When they were showing that footage, and the look on Captain America's face and the look on Tony Stark's face, the hurt and the emotion, it was so raw and it was so real. After it was all done, after the video was done, he was gonna go hit Bucky. Captain America stops him, and he turns around and looks at him, and he says, "Did you know?" He's like, and Captain America kind of dodges it, and Iron Man goes like, "Did you know?" And Captain America says, "Yes." And Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr.'s face just dropped. His eyes started watering up, and then that's what started the fight. He hits Captain America, and then he goes after Bucky. I understand why he wants to kill Bucky. Of course, and you literally just watched it. I mean, his parents were killed. His dad, Bucky beat him to death in the face with his arm. His mother, he choked her to death. I mean, he didn't just kill her real quick or whatever. He choked the life out of her. So that sent a rage of emotion. Oh, because in the beginning of the movie, Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark explains, he shows a video of how he never got along with his dad, but he always did with his mom. And they left, and then that's the night that they died, and he never got to make amends, and he never was close with his dad. So they played into that for later on into the movie. Man. And that's what causes the fight. He loses his arm. Bucky loses his arm. And then Captain America and Iron Man go at it. Captain America gets the best of Iron Man. Iron Man does get the best of Captain America, actually. But then, with the help of distraction from Bucky, Captain America gets in there, hits him, knocks him down, starts hitting him, and then he takes his shield and just shoves it into Iron Man's arc reactor. Shutting it down, loses power, shit like that. Pulls it out. And he gets Bucky, and they go to walk away. And Tony Stark starts yelling at Cap, and he's like, "You don't deserve that shield. That is not your shield to take. My father made that shield." And then it cuts to Cap, and they stop, and you can see it in his face. He's like, and then he just drops the shield, and then they continue walking away. Oh my God, what an emotional ending. But then afterwards, everybody's talking and whatnot, and Iron Man gets a letter from Cap, and Cap explains to him why he didn't tell him about his family, why he didn't tell him about his parents, and he amends and everything like that. And it ends with Captain America showing up at a prison, rescuing his team because his team got imprisoned for what happened. And he's rescuing his team out, and then it goes. And that's the end of the movie. But there's a mid-credit scene, and there's a post-credit scene as well. I'll talk about the post-credit scene after. Mid-credit scene, pretty damn cool. Cap and Bucky are actually in Wakanda with the Black Panther, and they actually have Bucky be put into ice and whatnot because he thinks that he's not stable enough and he doesn't want another incident happening. So he goes frozen and whatnot, and then that just goes on to say, hey, this is what's going to happen in the next movie for the Black Panther movie, probably. The end credit scene, and I hate to say this, we did not see it in theaters because we actually walked out. I was afraid of being late for work, so I did not get to see it. But I did see video and whatnot. So what happens is it's going to Peter Parker, and he's in his room. Aunt May is there asking him why is he all beat up and whatnot, and he says that he got beat up by a guy named Steve from Brooklyn, which happens to be Steve Rogers, who is Captain America, and he's fiddling with his web shooter because Tony Stark actually is the one who made his suit and made his new technology and whatnot, and a beam of light comes on and it shines up onto his ceiling, and he looks up, and it's his Spider-Man symbol. And everything like that. It fades out and everything. And I can't remember what it says afterwards. Spider-Man, he will be back. Or he will return. Something like that. I wish I'd stayed. Oh, man. That sucks. But that's the movie, man. Captain America Civil War was great. Go watch it. Seriously. Tons of great content. Great acting, great action, everything about it was just great. 10 out of 10, perfection rating. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you've seen it and everything else, let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and please subscribe. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Have a good one.